Radio show live. I am your host. I am the Talkman. I'm here to talk about fantasy football like we do every Friday at 6 p.m. here on 12 Out Sports. As you can see, that's who is allowing us on their platform. We love them for that. So, as I say every week, 12 Out Sports. We love 12 Out Sports here. We've got. I think we're going to get to draft strategies today. We're going to do a lot of draft stuff today. A lot of draft. NFL draft stuff, our draft stuff, fantasy draft stuff, draft beer, everything. Because it is 12 Out Sports. We got a reputation to uphold. So, we've got, well, first off, as I said every week, 12 Out Sports. Gotta love 12 Out Sports, 12 Out Sports, and 12OutSportsRadio.com. You can check them out on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Talkman Radio Show every week. You know where I'm at. I'm right here. I'm right here every Friday at 6 p.m. We're talking fantasy football. We're streaming only on 12 Out Sports. The only place you can find. The only place you get this. The only place you get this. And you do one of those creepy things and whisper like a crazy person. Fucking weirdos. So we're streaming on 12 Out Sports every Friday. That's where we're at. And also, as you can see down below, Talkman Radio. Subscribe to Talkman Radio on YouTube, Parler, Odyssey, and friend us on MeWe. Like I said before, when we did the change around here, we're looking to go into other social media outlets. We had problems with Twitter. We had a problem with YouTube. Still on YouTube. Had a problem with Facebook. Had problems with all these people. We tried to say stuff. So eventually we just laughed, and now we're trying new stuff. But we're going to continue to evolve that. Because I kind of just, I did some research, grabbed these guys, and then things changed, and now we're looking at some other things. But we're going to get into that more in the coming weeks. And I might get, when we do change up some things, we're going to, bring it to you here on the show. So that's something to look out for. And next week, I'm going to have a little part of the show that I'm going to show you, and it's kind of behind the reasoning why I've taken a little bit. I mean, I usually take like a little bit of time off on YouTube every year after the Super Bowl, after Love Is Nice is done. So we did that again this year. It's just a little extended because of what I'll show you next week. Next week's I get a little reveal for you, and I'll show you. And it's exciting, so we'll show that. We'll show that next week. But as I was saying, we're going to be doing stuff on on some different social media sites soon, coming soon this summer. Blockbuster movies. So yeah, there's that. And the reason I'm getting into this now is because I'm going to go over, we're going to kind of segue that right into the rundown. So let's talk, this week we're going to talk about Bruce Arians. He's out as the coach. Now, is this fantasy relevant? Yeah, a little, not really, but the Bucks, it does impact the Bucks. I'm going to talk about how and why, my reasonings. But I'm also going to, whenever I can, I'm getting more to the point where, because it's such nonsense, whenever I can point out this crap, I'm going to point it out, and that's something we're going to get into this week too. Just you'll see. I mean, and it's just my point of view. That's all it is. But I'll show you that it's in the Arians, the Bruce Arians segment of the show, which is the first segment. Then we get into the draft preview review. We got multiple first round mock drafts out there. I don't know where to get this stuff. Nobody's mock drafts, and they're never accurate. The first couple are accurate, then just goes off the rails. And it's every year, every draft. But this year they got it. All right, we're going to go roast them today. And then we get into draft strategy. I even got my draft stuff up. We're going to go over that stuff. I'm going to go over some of the big things that I've learned over the years. And it's just, this is going to help. Now, you still got to make your draft picks. But there's some things in there I want to go over. And we're going to do that today. I'm going to give you, drafting 101. These are just the basics of drafting. And you're going to think, I know all this stuff. Well, go over it again. Maybe there's something you could, that's not a bad idea here. We'll see. And I'm going to show you how I do that. And, whatever, take it or leave it, whatever you want. And there was, I found a draft preview of tight ends. So we're going to look at the tight ends a little bit. I know I say I don't do tight ends and kickers and defenses. Well, I do I do tight ends. I do give my thoughts on tight ends because they are part of a lot of leagues. Some leagues, I'm in a league that's never done a tight end. You can put tight ends in if you want, but you don't have a spot open for tight end. Every other league I have has tight ends. So you're gonna need them, and having a tight end is it's relevant. So I'm gonna go over tight ends too. That's gonna be part of the whole. I got it right here. The whole draft strategy aspect. Again, ain't doing kickers, ain't doing defenses. I do that. I do like a one show thing of kickers and defenses. It's not even like the whole show. It's like right before the draft. Like, grab that guy if you can. What do you want from me? Kicker and defense. What else? Oh, and the tight end thing. And that's it. That's what we're looking at for the next 53 minutes with me. So, welcome, and we're going to get started. We're going to get started right after I tell you about 12-ounce sports. These guys right there. Now everyone knows you can find my show and dozens of other shows here on 12-ounce sports. But did you know there's a ton of live sports on the network as well? Watch live football, baseball, hockey, lacrosse, racing, basketball, and more right here on 12-ounce sports. It's right here. You can also check us out on Zingo TV. I tell you every week, Zingo is his name-o. Zingo TV, channel 761. That's us right here. Quench your sports thirst right there. You can and don't forget, you can always catch the replay of this show every Saturday at 11 a.m. on Zingo TV. That's the only place. I'm too drunk. I'm too hungover to do another show. So, Amazon. And down below, there we go. I don't know, that ain't it. But, come. Getting ready to order on Amazon. I know we know you're all doing it. We know I'm watching you. Now you can do all your shopping on Amazon while helping out here on 12-ounce sports. When you're heading online, use 12ouncesportsnetwork.com/Amazon. You'll see that cross on the crawler below. That is 12ouncesportsnetwork.com/Amazon. And get shopping right there. Boom. Amazon, 12-ounce sports. It's a match made in heaven for you. That's right. It's 12ouncesportsnetwork.com/Amazon. You'll see it below crawling. Take a look at it. Put it into your computer. Help us out when you're ordering online. I don't know what to do with this. There we go. We'll put it right there. So what am I ranting about this week? What are you yelling about? What's the problem now? Well, we're going to talk about that. So, first things first. So Bruce Arians retired this week. And there's a couple things I want to talk about with this. Now, I picked up I just went to CBS Sports, grabbed this. That's it. That's all we're doing. Just went to CBS Sports. Here we go. Bruce Arians retiring from coaching. Will move to Buccaneers front office, even as Tom Brady returns. It's weird. It's weird. We got this guy came back. I gotta go. Oh shit! I don't know what time I gotta go. I gotta go. So Todd Bowles will replace Arians as head coach. There's a picture of him. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna read this real quick. The latest chapter in what has been the wildest offseason in NFL history. They're making a good point for that. Takes place in Tampa Bay. Buccaneers head coach Bruce Arians is retiring from coaching. Retiring. I just realized, it's time to retire. And will be moving to a front office role as a senior, football consultant with the organization, the team announced. Defensive coordinator Todd Bowles has been elevated to head coach. Now, we know Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians have a good relationship. He's worked with. He coached at the Temple, and defensive coach. That's good. The offense. Well, we'll get to the offense. Defensive coach has head coaching experience. Move him up the chain. I mean, you're too deep in. Oh well, he's gone. What are we gonna do? Look for another coach now? No, all the coaches are gone. You're not bringing in somebody new. For consistency's sake, keep the defense coordinator and move to the head coach. Okay, I got no problem with that. My problem is I got other problems. I got major problems in the melon. So while this comes as the latest shocker to scroll across the NFL ticker, Arians told NBC Sports and the LA Times that he began thinking about making this move at the NFL scouting combine a month ago. He also thought about retiring following the Bucs Super Bowl 56 victory in February 2021. Of course, Arians instead elected to try to repeat this past season, and the Bucs were eliminated in the divisional round. I spent most of the last 50 years of my life on the sidelines as a football coach in one form or another. Arians said in a statement, "Today I made the decision to move on from the sidelines into another role with the Buccaneers front office, assisting Jason Light and his staff. I love football. I love the relationships, the strategy, the competition, everything. It has been one hell of a ride, but I know this is the right time for me to make this transition. Now it's the right time. Now it's the right time. March 30th, after your 44-year-old quarterback says, you know what, I'll come back, rather than having to go and draft somebody or pick up one of these lame-o free agents that are out there. By the way, just for, and giggles, who is out there? Quarterback-wise? just checking. Okay, so if you want to come back, they would have their choice of one of the picks in this year's draft, one of the two guys, Willis or Pickett, in the first round. If he drops to them, if not, you get Ryan Fitzpatrick, Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert. We bring him back. Bring him back. Going in the starting lineup, buddy. Mike Glennon, Napoleon Dynamite himself, AJ McCarron. Shouldn't he just be home banging? I think he's got like a super hot wife. All these guys are super hot wives, by the way. Even Joshua Dobbs has a super hot wife, I'll bet. Joshua, so you're not going with any of these guys. All right, now we got this guy back. So, now that he's back, now I really want to retire. Got a problem with that. Naturally, the timing of this retirement from coaching will cause many to speculate that it could have something to do with Tom Brady deciding to come out of retirement himself. There had been rumors that the pair's relationship had soured over Brady's tenure in Tampa Bay, but Arians noted that the two have a great relationship off the field. In fact, Brady deciding to unretire ultimately paved the way for this decision because Arians knew that the team would be competitive in his departure. Tom was kind of the key, Arians said told NBC Sports and the LA Times, when Tom decided to come back and all these guys back now, it's perfect time for me to just go to the front office and still have the relationship that I love. And if you wonder if Aaron may still pull Tom Brady himself and try to come out of retirement at some point down the line, he effectively slammed the door shut, saying, "This is it. I'm going to be 70 in October, and I just look forward to helping the Bucs because it's been so great to me and my family." And Bowles gets a new 5-year contract. Aaron's recommended successor and is happy to hand over the stable roster. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so you kind of see where they're going, and the rest is, it looks like succession. Tom Brady coming back puts Todd in a good position. Blah blah blah. Brady is home. Bowles has been the Buccaneers organization 2019 when he was hired by the club as the club's defense coordinator. He coached the Jets. He actually did. I think he did okay in his first year. He did okay, but then just fell off the rails. As for Arians, 69-year-old, originally stepping in the NFL as a running backs coach of the Kansas City Chiefs in 1989. He then went on to make notable stops in Indianapolis, where Peyton Manning's first quarterbacks coach, offense coordinator in Pittsburgh Steelers during the days of Ben Roethlisberger, and most recently coaching Tom Brady en route to the quarterback's 7th Super Bowl. So, all right, I think I made my point. So he left. There's nothing to see here with Tom Brady. That's the point they're making. Nothing to see here with Tom Brady. So with him gone, with the head coach gone, he wasn't the offensive coordinator, but he built the offense. He was the brains behind the offensive philosophy that moved the offense forward through Byron Leftwich to Tom Brady to the offense, and that's kind of how it rolled. See what I'm saying? So with him gone, now we're looking at Byron Leftwich, because the head coach is the defense coordinator. He's not going to get involved. I don't think he's going to get involved too much with the offensive play calling, because that's not his forte. He's the defensive coordinator. So now you still have Tom Brady and Byron Leftwich. Now, who do you think of those two is going to be, I don't say running the offense, but kind of running the offense? How do you think that's going to go? Well, Tom Brady beat his Bucs offensive coordinator, Byron Leftwich, in the playoffs early in his career. Remember this? Tom Brady joins forces with Byron Leftwich. I mean, this is when he came to, this is February 1st, 2021. So this is when he came to Tampa Bay. Tom Brady joins forces with Byron Leftwich when he signed with Tampa Bay Bucs prior to 2020. Brady's 43 years old, going to be coached by an offense coordinator who's younger than him. Leftwich is 41, and he's been retired for a while. Like, he ain't even he just retired. Nah, he's been retired for a while. As the two head to Super Bowl 55, Brady's matchup against Leftwich in the playoffs is being remembered. Yeah. Leftwich got fucking torched. Brady went 15 for 27, which isn't great. I think they had a decent defense back then, but not good enough. He still went 15 for 27 for 201 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 28-3 win. Leftwich was 18 of 31 for 179. An interception, and David Garrard even got in. David Garrard got in on the action. All right, go Dave. So, not to say that, I beat you, I'm running the shit, but, you gotta wonder where the power dynamic here, how it's working, because these guys, this guy has been playing longer than this guy was even alive when they played the first time. I think he's learned a little more. I think this guy, I'll trust this guy over this guy. Not to say he's a bad offensive coordinator, but you got to wonder how things are going without Bruce Arians there. And again, why? How come nobody's talking about this time frame thing where, I'm retired. Okay, and I'm out of here. Nobody thinks this is weird. Again, this is, I like to rant on, let's see if I've, okay, let's go into this. So, you say that. Let's go with the offense. Tampa Bay. Now here's the Tampa Bay brought in. Well, who they brought in and lost. They did lose offense a guard. They brought in Freddie John. Freddie, oh Freddie. Alex Kappa went from Tampa Bay to Cincinnati, and they're taking the guy that they're dropping and bringing him in, see if they can do anything with that. I don't know what this. You're getting cheap if you're paying him nothing to play. And Giovanni Bernard just came back. I think that's a Tom Brady pickup. The running backs, except for Ronald Jones, who was kind of in the doghouse the whole time. Arians didn't like him. He played well when they first started. When Brady first got there, it was Ronald Jones, and then he kind of leaned into Leonard Fournette, and now Ronald Jones is just gone, and Leonard Fournette is going to come back at 27 years old, and he was a top. I mean, he was a top. I think he ended up being a top 5 running back. He was a top 5 running back late in the season. He got banged up in that game where everybody got hurt against the Saints, and it turns out that he. Now it's just Keyshawn Vaughn, Leonard Fournette, and Giovanni Bernard. They haven't done the draft yet, so we don't know what's going to happen there. Russell Gage being brought in. You lose Antonio Brown to get Russell Gage. Russell Gage is not bad, and he's 26 years old. He's young. So, and he's an NFL wide receiver. So I think that's going to help more than people think, even though he's going to be down on the depth chart. You've got Chris Godwin coming back from, I think a torn ACL or whatever that was, coming off a bad injury. I forget what it was, but it wasn't a good injury. He was out. So you can see, and they lost O.J. Howard, but they got Gronk anyway. So, and Cameron Brate. So O.J. Howard was good. The guys they lost don't really, Alex Kapp is a loss. But the other guys they lost are not, big for. Tom Brady didn't utilize him that very much. He got thrown out, and O.J. Howard caught a few passes here and there, not a big deal. Alex Kappa is a loss. So we're just bringing in offensive guys to help Tom Brady. So who do you think Who do you think the free agency is benefiting? Definitely not the defense. So I think this is basically what we're trying to say is basically like Tom Brady's team now. Not that it wasn't before, but now Bruce Arians out of there. And nobody seems to be saying, hey, think Tom Brady had something to do with that? No, and when I say nobody, I mean nobody. None of these guys, none of these yahoos. Michael Lombardi doesn't believe Tom. No. They're all pushing this shit. They're all putting that. He had nothing to do with it. It's so obvious that he did have something to do with it. But MSN, Microsoft News, that's going to tell you, no, they're not doing it. That didn't happen. What you just saw didn't happen. You ever heard that one before? Hear that one in the last couple of years? All the stuff you saw didn't happen? These are, this is just pulling up. Hall of Famer, boosted assistants, looking in the former NFL coach Bruce Arians' time, Mississippi State. Fuck's that got to do with anything? How come this should be, why did he retire? Tom Brady's back, and how did this happen? All these people with all these people that they know on the inside, nobody's even talking about this. There, NFL, and when they do talk about it, they say, no, that's bullshit. Tom coming back made the decision easier. It's better. It's better that he's back and I'm leaving. What? This is like I tell you every week. Don't listen to anybody NBC. And this is all, and it's programmed, and all of these search engines are programmed to give you these people first. NBC, USA Today, Sports Illustrated, USA Today. That's it. Sports Illustrated, USA Today, all telling you, no, there's nothing to see here. Bruce Arians stepping down sure looks like it was tied to Tom Brady, but not in the way the Tampa Bay Bucks want you to believe. That could be something, but it's probably going to end up being, you're crazy. It's been an unbelievable ride. Tom Bowles, calls it replayed. Tom Brady did not push Bruce Arians out. Fox Sports. Bruce Arians retires, tells Tom Bowles promoted. Another year of Tom Brady quarterback. Why would Bruce Arians want to leave? I don't know. But answer the question, at least. Bruce Arians' handoff Tom Bowles is fitting capstone Denies drift with Tom Brady, walks off PF. Nah, none of that happened. You see, but I'm going to tell you, that's bullshit. And obviously there's something going on there. And then they're going to say, see you later, bye-bye. He's going to ride off in the sunset. Nobody wants to talk about this. I mean, it seems to me that if Tom Brady's going to play, we know I got 1 or 2 more years left. I want to be done with this. Not that he wants to be done, but I think he's starting to see the light. He's always said 45. He's going to be 45 this year. So I think you're getting anybody who gets their sports news shouldn't get any news from any of these fuckheads. But anybody gets from regular news, you're not getting. It goes for sports news. It goes for regular news. It goes for anything. They're not even. They won't even ask the questions. But and this is like I say every freaking whenever one of these things comes up and I can bring it up. 12-ounce sports, at least me at 12-ounce sports. We don't have any articles. I looked up 12-ounce sports network. We don't have any articles up, which we should though. If I didn't work 82 hours a day, maybe I'd read an article about this because it's such bullshit. The only people who are going to cover this are me. I'll tell you this is bullshit. There's a couple other guys here at 12-ounce sports probably think this is bullshit. But you have to go to YouTube. Black and white sports. Tom Brady's placing Bruce Arians stepping down. I like these guys. I watch these guys once in a while. They have good stuff. This freaking guy, Antonio Brown. Here you go. In the last day, Tom Brady video. Again, Bruce Arians retires. And, there should be more. Videos. Okay, it's Tom Brady. More fuck with Tom Brady again. This is Tom Brady. And then Tom Brady going to the Dolphins. Tom Brady forcing trade. He's going to come in, get a trade. All this nonsense, but nothing to see here. Came back, he's forcing. He's going to force trade them to Miami, all that. At least they talk about it. Tom Brady forced Bruce Arians out. This is Sports Wars, Geeks and Gamers. Tom Brady forced Bruce Arians out. Bruce Arians stepping aside as Tampa Bay coach. Tom Brady wanted to force a trade to Miami. Again, same thing. He came back and then I'm coming back so I can go to Miami. That's not the way it's going to work. And then all of a sudden now the coach is retiring. It seems pretty black and white. No pun intended. But, so like I say, don't watch regular media. You gotta get alternative media. You're gonna get brainwashed if you watch regular media. Whether it's sports, whether it's regular stuff, whether it's freaking music, whatever it is, they're pushing bullshit on you, and you gotta come to. I'm not saying you gotta listen to me, but listen to alternatives. Just saying. So that's what I think of the Bruce Arians thing. I think the offense is gonna be just fine. Tom Brady. We're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over draft strategies today, so I'm gonna talk about that. But overall, I think Tom Brady. He was number 4 QB last year in fantasy. Why wouldn't he be in the top 5 this year? And I'm gonna go over why I think that later. So that's what I think of this. I think it's a lot of bullshit. So let's move on. Let's move on to my bookie. Everyone knows it's the best time of the year in sports. Is it really? Not really. I've had that written down and I read it. If you want to get in on the action, you want to bet, there's plenty of stuff out there to bet. Go to mybookie.ag, use the promo code 12ounce sports, 12OZ sports, all caps, no spaces, and you'll see what there is to bet. When you're signing up for the deposit bonus, you have to put that promo code in, 12ounce sports, 12OZ sports, all caps, no spaces, first time users only. That's mybookie.ag, promo code 12ounce sports, 12OZ Sports. Always gamble responsibly. Don't put the whole thing on roll the dice. Quit rolling the dice, cuz. What are you doing? And don't forget, check out ZingoTV.com. It's free. Please use the promo code 12ounce, 12OZ, when you're on Zingo TV. It really helps out when you do that. 12 Ounce Sports is channel 761. I tell you that every week, too. Plus, they have other actual sports channels, music channels, movie, videos, all kinds of stuff. You got to go check it out, see what you like. I can't pick that for you, but I can tell you, 11 a.m. on Saturday, you get the replay of this show. Me bitching. As soon as you wake up from and crawl out of bed of the fat chick you met at the bar, you get home, you watch me. I'll straighten everything out for you. You'll be safe. You'll be safe with me. With the bosom. Go check it out. And you, where'd that kid from? Go check it out. It's free. Use the promo code 12ounce to sign up. And sign up. Fucking bosoms and shit. Alright, so we're a half hour into the show. I busted your balls on them not telling you the truth. But what I am going to tell you, what I'm going to go over is, let's do draft preview review. Reviewing the draft. So we got two mock drafts here. We can see if there's any fantasy utility in this. Last year, you had Jamar Chase. Big place. He went around... He went in the 8th round, went in the 7th round, somewhere in there. That's where he went in pretty much all the drafts between end of 6 and like round 9. In all the drafts I was in, I think he ended up like the beginning of 7, and then I found him in 9. One of my other drafts, but I can't. I don't have access to any. One of them, two of them anymore. Two of them I do have access to, and we're gonna go over that tonight during draft strategies. But first. Like I've said, there is utility in first round draft picks. Of course there is. Quarterback, but it's who's going to pop? Who's going to pop? You don't know. It comes down to we are seeing a little more quarterbacks who get drafted, get wide receivers drafted that they played with. There seems to be a connection there. So we've got Bucky Brooks. Bucky, not a huge fan of Bucky Brooks. He says no first-round quarterbacks. That's total lie. And plus, these guys get all these wrong. A majority of these are going to be wrong. They'll get like 5 or 6 right at best. So let's go through this real quick. We're really not going to do the defensive guys because they don't have much of an impact. They're going to be defensive players, so they're going to help an overall defense. Defenses are, a good defense will get you a touchdown every once in a while, and that's what you want. But so anyway, Jaguars, I think they're going with defensive ends, defensive linemen, edge rushers. I mean, you've been seeing this trend in the last 5-10 years with when the offenses are going quarterback, wide receiver, or throwing the ball. We're throwing the ball all over the place. So we want offensive linemen and we want defensive linemen. That's it. They have the Jets taking a quarterback 4th. I don't know about that. I don't know. Even as the name is Sauce, I don't know about that. Offensive linemen. Now, the Giants are in a they're in a pickle. They're definitely in a pickle with their quarterback. I don't think there's a quarterback here that's going to help them out. So they're going to be stuck with Daniel Jones for another year. Maybe they can go and pick up a free agent next year or get destroyed so much that next year they have a really high pick and they can go get a quarterback. But either way, okay. Offensive lineman, edge rusher, again for the Giants. 2 picks in the top 7, 5 and 7. And both defensive... offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Okay, I got no problem. Now, here's where I have an issue. Garrett Wilson to the Atlanta Hawks. I get that Calvin Ridley is going to be there next year, and they want a wide receiver in there to, I guess, take his place. But I don't see them taking a wide receiver. I see them going with a quarterback here I think they're going to go with Malik Willis maybe, or Kenny Pickett, whichever they have higher on the draft boards. I think they know Marcus Mariota is a stopgap. He's not. He's already been drafted number 2, came in, and they kind of, it didn't really make any progress. So I think they know where his ceiling's at, and they'd like to bring somebody in that they can groom, maybe even let sit for a year and learn a little bit. Plus, I would probably go with Malik Willis here because they kind of have the same kind of athletic build, and they play the same way a little bit, a little more offense with the legs. So I think this is where they're going to go with Malik Willis. I don't see them taking a wide receiver here, and if they did, I wouldn't put a lot of. I don't see a wide receiver here make much impact with Marcus Mariota. I see Marcus Mariota throwing the ball a lot more to Kyle Pitts than any rookie wide receiver that they have out there. But could be wrong. I don't think this is correct though. Going down to Seattle Seahawks, I think these guys could go with a Kenny Pickett as well. They did build the last Super Bowl team they built that was built through the draft by building up their defense, and then they drafted Russell Wilson. They hit on Russell Wilson as a 3rd-round pick or a 4th-round pick, and the rest is history. The new way, one of the ways to do it now is to get wide. I mean, you have to get a quarterback, and if you're going to play the way, if you're going to build the team this way by building up the defense and then going out and maybe picking up a free agent or maybe getting lucky with a draft pick, that's another way to do it. Or you can do it picking up a guy as your number 1 pick and then trying to build a team within the next, while the guy's still on his rookie contract, so you can put guys around him. You could see another quarterback going here. They keep saying no quarterbacks are going. That is a total lie. 2 quarterbacks are going in the first round. The Jets, the Jets might do something stupid like this, but I think they are going to go defense. At least one of these picks, they may go offensive lineman as well. The Commanders go with quarterback and pushing the defense a little more, maybe. Nothing. The Houston Texans going with a wide receiver. They could go to quarterback here. I don't know. Davis Mills isn't the answer, so you could see a quarterback go here, which would be helpful. If they were to go to the wide receiver, I wouldn't give him much fantasy utility in your league. He's another guy that Drake London went, he'd go 14th, 15th round. Washington. Now the Eagles, they keep saying the Eagles are going to take a wide receiver. They have 3 picks, 15, 16, and 19. I do not know if they're going to go and get a wide receiver. You can't keep going with first-round picks on wide receivers. It doesn't. There's so many other things you can get that will be helpful. They need linebackers. They need defensive help. Quarterback. Defensive end. They need a lot of help in other places. I wouldn't be surprised if, number 1 of these 3 picks gets traded down, and number 2, all of these picks are defense. Or 1 offensive lineman. But I don't think you're going to see a wide receiver go. They keep saying it is. You got your wide receiver last year. Boom, you got one. You can wait on one this year. I don't think that's where it's going to go. But if they do pick a wide receiver, I wouldn't give much credit because you have a guy there that's going to be better this year than he was last year. And this guy, they don't throw the ball. They run the ball. Offensive tackle. Yeah, this is all bullshit. I'm not buying all this. Pittsburgh Steelers taking a wide receiver. I don't think so. They have wide receivers over there. They have Deontay Johnson, who was number 2 in targets last year. They need a quarterback to throw the ball to these guys. So I think there's another team that's ripe for a quarterback, Kenny Pickett. If he's still there, I think Malik Willis will be gone. New England does what New England does. Offensive tackle, defensive tackle, edge rusher, offensive guard, defensive tackle. Green Bay picking up a wide receiver. I would keep an eye on that. That is something that is fantasy relevant. Like I said last week or the week before, we don't know who the number 1 wide receiver here is now, so that's a huge thing. Once we identify that, if you can identify that, keep a good eye on that. That is fantasy gold for you because you have a top-flight quarterback there and a new number 1 wide receiver getting 7 to 9 targets a game on average will be huge. 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 So Christian Watson or whoever they take here, keep an eye on that. You got to see how that works out. Kansas City Chiefs, again, another team traded away a wide receiver, but I don't think a wide receiver coming in here as a rookie is going to make a difference, so I would be a little weary on that. Kansas City Chiefs again, going with a defense, and they have no quarterbacks going here. That was Bucky Brooks, and now we're going to go with Cynthia Freeland. I've done at least one video on Cynthia Freeland. I think she's good with the numbers, but she's a little off on some things. Let's see how she. All right, number 2, safety going number 2 to the Detroit Lions. I'm not buying this already. Offensive tackle. They got the Jets taking this quarterback. Okay, offensive tackle, edge rusher. Atlanta go with Trayvon Walker. Seattle, again, not picking a quarterback. The Jets going with a wide receiver. Interesting. Washington, quarterback. Derek London again to the Texans. They must know something I don't. Edge rusher. Defensive tackle. Again, the Eagles. I do not see this happening, but okay. This I can see this guy going to the Eagles because Fletcher Cox is getting a little old, and they're going to want to bring somebody in there to take his place. That I can see happening, and then them going for a quarterback most likely, and then trading the other team. That's kind of the way I see this going. But they keep saying wide receiver in there. I don't see it. If they do pick a wide receiver, like I said, I'm giving you my argument for that. They're a running team. They run the ball 60 times a game. And then they throw the ball to Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith. What's this guy going to catch? A cold? Goof? Linebacker, defensive, Chris Olave going to the Green Bay Packers. That would be interesting because he's very highly rated. Now, I admitted I don't watch a lot of college football, but he's really high rated up here. They have him going 22 here. In the other mock draft, they have him going 16, I think, to 16, 15 to the Eagles. Excuse me. I don't know about that. So if you were to go there, that's something you got to keep an eye on. Arizona take another wide receiver. They've drafted wide receivers. They're picking up wide receivers. Christian Kirk did go. AJ Green isn't coming back, so maybe they can use another wide receiver. But they did draft one last year, so how many wide receivers do you need, especially when one takes 15 targets a game? Dallas Cowboys taking linebacker. Tennessee Titans getting a wide receiver. They did let Julio Jones go. Now they're going to go the young route. Maybe that works out. I'm not totally. I'm a little off on what's his face, Tannehill. He came in last year. I kind of liked him, but I don't know about that. Tampa Bay taking an edge rusher, and then Green Bay taking offensive lineman, safety, quarterback, inside linebacker, and nobody has any quarterbacks going. 2 quarterbacks are going to go in the first round. I guarantee you. Nobody's going to let a quarterback go if they think he has a chance of being a franchise quarterback. And both of these guys are rated in the first round. Way too many teams out there need a quarterback. So, I think they're wrong, and I think you're going to see both of those quarterbacks go in the first round. So, with that, go take a piss.
Sports has a new home for betting. BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12-ounce sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120Z and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sports book. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
Yo, cuz. Yo, cuz. Look at that. Look at that dude. That dude would be winning fantasy leagues all day. So, draft strategy. Finally got 15 minutes to talk draft strategies. Victorious Warriors win first, then go to war. While defeated Warriors go to war first, then seek to win. We're looking to win. We're looking to win. That is what I'd like to convey to you. Get your shit ready. And that's all the draft strategy advice I got. Next 15 minutes, you're going to watch me jerk off. No, I wouldn't do that to you. I would not do that to you. In my eyes. So, draft strategies. Going into next year. First things first. I'm going to show you through last year's draft, which I have right here. This team won. This is actually the 12-out sports league. So, draft strategies. Let's talk about running backs. We're going to talk about running backs are the key to your fantasy team. Yes, you need quarterbacks. Yes, you need good wide receivers. But you can go out and find quarterbacks, wide receivers, guys popping off. You can find running backs too. But if you have enough running backs in your stable that, okay, you got your main guy, boom, okay, we've got the guy, he's a top 10 running back. He's going to be our guy for the whole year. Now we have to build a second. Hopefully you get 2 of them, and then you're really in good shape. If you get 3 of them, then you're just an embarrassment of riches. But it's hard enough just to get one. So, first rule. This is draft strategy number 1. Focus on running backs. Focus on running backs early. So you get enough that if one doesn't hit, you have other options. So, how do you do that? 3 of the first 6 rounds, you need to draft a running back. 3 of the first 6 rounds, you need to draft a running back. Now you can wait. You can do rounds 4 through 6. You can do rounds 1 through 3. You can do whatever you want. But so far, that's worked out for me. It's kept my running back stable, healthy. I don't have to worry about too much about, unless I totally screwed up. The guy goes out, like I had Adrian Peterson that one year, 2017, I think, 2016. He was drafted. I drafted him 7th overall. He played 3 games. In the 3rd game, he was out for the year. And I think he averaged like a 1.2 yards. That happens. That's why you need other guys around that actually are starters that you can plug in there and hopefully they'll play well. So 3 out of the first 6 rounds, you need to get running backs. Now, which running backs are we looking to get? Well, let's see what I did. Here's what I did. So I picked 8th. I like Jonathan Taylor. If you saw my draft sheet from last year, I had him. Here's running backs. I had him. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. I had him 6th. He dropped down to 8. Patrick Mahomes went. Nick Chubb went. And Jonathan Taylor went 8. I took him 8th, and the rest is history. Coming back around, we went with Antonio Gibson. We kind of went with the 2nd round running back theme here. There, 2 running backs, 2 in the first 2 rounds. They both played pretty much the whole season. So that was good. Jonathan Taylor, boom. Antonio Gibson, not bad. Had some touchdowns here. Had some touchdowns. Wanted more. Didn't get them. Wanted some more 100-yard games. Didn't get them, but played okay. He was an acceptable running back to be in there. Round 3, we went with Amari Cooper. Not great. Mike Evans in round 4 was a good pick. And then round 5, we came around with Josh Jacobs. Now, Josh Jacobs is a starting running back. Give me a starter. Give me a starter all day. So we got that. There's your 3 starters in 6 rounds. So if anything happened to any of these guys, you've got another starter you can plug right in there. And round 6, we could have gone another running back if you wanted to, but we went with T. Higgins, who played okay, was huge in week 15, which is the money week. So there you go. There's how you make your running backs. That's a good foundation of running backs. 3 in the first 6 rounds. Now, who you draft? We want full-time running backs. That's what we want. We want guys for full-time running backs. We want guys who get carries. Carries or are involved in the offense to a point where PPR makes them a difference maker. But we'll take carries. Indianapolis, there you go. He went. In terms of yards, shit, this guy played 3 less games and it was second league in yards. That guy's pretty good. Now, I like this. I like that. Now, okay, this is a little off, but once you go down a little bit, Josh Allen, no, we don't want that. This is fine. Take the quarterbacks out. All right, that's not going to work. So we're going to do this. We'll go back to attempts. Guys with a lot of attempts. We like guys with a lot of attempts, but we like average yards per carry more, especially if they're running backs. The less carries it takes for them to get 100 yards, especially if you have a 100-yard bonus in your league, the better. So guys with high averages are great. That's what we want. Even if they're not, the main guys, they're good to have. So PPR guys who catch PPR, that makes up for a lot of one catch is equal to 10 yards on the ground. So guys who catch the ball out of the backfield are huge. Whoever's on the sheet. I'm going to smash through this a little faster. So, running backs. And we're going to go into this more. This is kind of just the bare bones of it. QBs. You got to target your QBs. Who do you want? Who are you going to go get? When are you going to go get them? So, Mahomes here and Wilson here. Brady was number 8. He was the target. As you can see here, purple's the target. He was my target. I had him ranked at number 8, but what do I like about Tom Brady? The thing I like about Tom Brady is he always plays. Josh Allen always plays. Russell Wilson, the reason he's number 3, is because he played up until last year, doesn't miss games. Kyler Murray showed he doesn't miss games. Lamar Jackson, last year got hurt, first time. This is probably going to drop his stock. Aaron Rodgers used to get hurt, hasn't been getting hurt, getting rid of the ball quicker, plays. Dak Prescott dropped a little bit. Look, he's behind him. He was leading the league in yards and everything the year before, but got hurt, missed it, dropped him down. Tannehill played crappy last year, but doesn't get hurt. Stafford, another guy, doesn't get hurt. Burrow got hurt his first year, played last year. Herbert, showing that he's a guy who's going to be available. Has guys on his team that he can throw the ball to, and they make a difference. He's going to move up this year. You watch Trevor Lawrence, he played. Kirk Cousins, he plays. Wentz played last year, has a history of being hurt. Tua plays, Ryan plays, Hurts plays. Winston got hurt last year. He's going to drop. No more Roethlisberger. Carr plays. You see where I'm going with this. And that is what I like about guys. That's why all these guys are up there, because they don't get hurt. Dak Prescott was the first guy on there off of a recent injury, and he was number 9 on my list. So guys who are available, that's good. Offensive weapon. Got to have an offense around you. Lawrence, I thought, was going to make some room with his legs, but he's still 14th in the league. 14th on my list. He ended up being 800th in the league, so that didn't work out. But still, a rookie. We'll see what happens this year. How many years they've been in the offense? That's why every year I do same offensive coordinator, same coach coming back. Okay, that's good. Continuity is good. That's what you're looking for in terms of quarterback. But target your guys and go get them. Find out where they're getting drafted. That's why you got to do mock drafts. Find out where they're getting drafted and go and get him a round before. Like this. I'll show you what this is in a minute. That's quarterbacks. And before we get into the rest, don't forget, tune into the AM Drive every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern as they deliver the best in sports talk and pop culture to start your morning. Hosted by Michael Carvelis and Aaron Crouch. And of course, Biscotti Gourmet offers a new take on an old Italian tradition, a soft-baked mini biscotti and many delightful flavors. Lemon's my favorite. Go to biscottigourmet.com and use the promo code TALKMAN for 20% off your order. TALKMAN, different promo code. TALKMAN. Any flavor is a wonderful compliment with your coffee in the morning, or it's a guilty pleasure treat. It's true, you know. It's true. It's true. So, that's how I see quarterbacks and running backs, and as we get closer to the draft, we're going to talk more about that. We're probably not going to be able to talk about the tight ends, but I do want to talk about wide receivers. I'm not going to be able to go over the what's the name for tight end, the article for tight ends. Like I said, I targeted Tom Brady in round 7, and I got him. I got him in every league. He was my quarterback in every league. Round 7, people were looking at him. Round 8, round 9, obviously not in round 7, so we took him in round 7, and we got him in every league. You have to mock draft this out to see where they're going. I mean, you can't help it if somebody has a hot nut for a guy and takes him 2 rounds early. You can't help it. But try and get it, mock drafting always helps. You got to mock draft. That's another rule. Got to mock draft. So, that's how we got to round 7. Moving into round 8. You got to have a draft, got to make your own draft sheet. Make your own draft sheet. I'm a big proponent of making your own draft sheet. So let's talk about wide receivers real quick. Wide receivers, what you want in your wide receiver is a good thing. If you're going to target your quarterback, might as well target your wide receiver too. I had Antonio Brown targeted, T. Higgins was a target, but Mike Evans, I liked him, and I got Mike Evans in most leagues. So you got your little tandem there, especially having a touchdown guy. Every league's a touchdown league. So having a guy there, having a wide receiver that matched up with the quarterback is good. Targets are enormous. Receiving targets. These guys help any teams out. Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Deontay Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore had a lot of targets, didn't make a lot of catches, but see, this is what kept him from being a big time player. 4 touchdowns. But targets. You can go with your number 1 wide receiver, look for their targets, and then maybe number 2, you can look for them to be in with the quarterback that you're targeting. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but targets, especially touchdowns, are huge. The offense that they're in, guys who have specialties, big guys like Mike Evans, who makes a living out of out-jumping guys. He knows how to use his body and make the plays. Tyreek Hill, fastest guy out there, makes plays. Guys with special abilities that very few other guys have, those are guys to target. But targets are pretty much the most important thing out there. Good offenses, rapport with the quarterback, that kind of stuff. Didn't really make much of a difference to Cooper Kupp, but it helps. And tight ends are basically the same thing. Guys who are getting targeted. Mark Andrews got targeted. He was the number 1 tight end. Travis Kelce, he was the number 2 tight end. He caught it up about 9 touchdowns. So that's how it works out. That's the way I see it. Now we're going to talk more about this as we move into getting ready for the season. But that's it. That's some basic strategies for you for your draft. We're going to talk about more of this. But that's the end of the show. See you next week.